Hey, Sooner football fans. This is your Sooner football fans podcast. You got Terry, Rob, and Caleb here. Boomer Rob.
Boomer Terry.
Boomer Caleb.
Boomer.
And we are coming at you from the Podcast Palace in Norman, Oklahoma, where
We are not affiliated with the University of Oklahoma.
but we do have some eligibility left. And let's get everything out of the way first. Make sure that you subscribe to our podcast wherever you're listening to it at. And follow us on Twitter. Sooner FB Fans is our handle. Give us a follow out there if you're not, and check out our Facebook page. Sooner Football Fans is our Facebook page, and our website www.soonerfootballfans.com. And first off, let's get all the business out of the way. Dan from Tailgate Connect, wherever you're at across the country, who can send you to good tailgates or the best tailgates, Rob?
It is Dan the Tailgater.
From
Connect.
www.tailgateconnect.com. Anywhere in the country you want to go that you want to tailgate, Dan can connect you to some of the most iconic tailgates across the country. And where will we be next year with Dan?
We are going up to Army
to what's the name of the town? West Point.
West Point. Yeah. West Point.
Caleb, are you gonna make
I want to go.
the West Point trip with us?
I want to.
Well, get out there on the street corner, start hiking your skirt up, earning some extra cash.
Yep.
So, also our newest sponsor / partner. If you are listening from anywhere in the country, you guys need to go get the Team Bar Finder app. Sooner fan and Sooner alum Dave Lamb developed this app that whatever bars in the country, we're going to say Sooner bars because that's really the only one that matters, that they have watch parties for Sooner fans. You can get the app. It is in the Apple Store or Google, or wherever you get your Google apps at. What is that? The Google Play Store that you get your...
You're the one that has Samsung. You should know.
Yeah, I'm the only smart one in this group.
So I got the app, and I submitted Buffalo Wild Wings as a OU Sooner bar.
Okay. What about Louis? Did you submit Louis?
I didn't.
Well, we're there every Thursday night, Rob.
Well, I know, but...
But anyway, go submit your bar. If you have a place and you want more Sooners to find you, submit it there. Find your bar there. You can go online. It's available in app, or you can go online at www.teambarfinder.com. And speaking of Louis, we are at Louis every Thursday night for our Thursday Night at Louis YouTube. Make sure and go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. And thanks to everyone for coming out to tailgate like a champion this past weekend.
Which I made.
Yeah, Rob got to make an appearance at the end of
just in time to close it down.
Yeah, just in time to help load the truck. But let's see, who all did we have there? Caleb, you're going to have to help me remember.
Right. You asked the wrong person.
We had Adrian, the Forest Witch, or the Football Witch now, which we will not talk about Caleb's interesting bet. That
I don't remember that bet.
You don't?
No.
You don't
I don't remember anything from that tailgate. So
So it was kind of like the Iron Maiden concert?
kind of.
Let me ask you a question. Is that fun? I mean, you can't remember it. You can't think back on it and go, hey, I had fun.
I remember lots of. I don't remember every little detail. I remember lots of stuff.
You don't remember the bet with Adrian?
No.
Okay.
I don't care to know it, so you can just go past it.
Okay, well, Adrian, you're off the hook, I guess. If he can't remember a bet, then it's...
I think she wants to be off the hook.
Yeah. So, and of course, Lori was there. The lovely Miss Teresa was there. Who else? Mr. OU, Antonio Record. You know, the guy who's dressed up in OU, takes pictures, is on the TV all the time. Mr. OU was there. We had Zach Bradshaw in from South Texas and his Texas Tech buddy, Cale, who has no soul. Do you remember why he has no soul, Caleb?
Who?
Zach.
No.
Not Zach. Cale from Texas Tech, because he's a ginger. He kind of looks like a...
That South Park characters?
Yeah. He kind of looks like a young version of the Texas Tech mascot, the little red-headed guy. So, well, no, but Zach was real cool, but also his buddy Cale, who came with us. He took the beating well and was good-hearted about everything. Tim was there for all the way from Nebraska again.
Yep.
We had a Sooner fan come in. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name, but he came in from, I want to say Connecticut.
Huh.
If I'm wrong,
All
it's
the way
either
from Connecticut.
Connecticut or Carolina, but I think Connecticut.
Scott and his wife.
Who?
Scott Higgins. Or
Oh, yeah, Scott. Duh.
I forgot her name. Tracy?
Sherry. Scott and Sherry were there. They're the new Tailgate Like a Champion helpers, which we appreciate 1,000,000%, helping us out, getting everything set up and broken down. Tattoo Baker made an appearance. Conway from Arizona.
Nice. People coming from all over the place.
Yeah, made an appearance. If I'm forgetting you, I'm sorry. While Bill was there, had Tailgate Like a Champion T-shirts. He replaced my Drink Like a Champion Today koozie because somebody stole it out in California at the tailgate. So he
Those Californians.
I know they're Californians. It seemed odd though that somebody had one that didn't have one before. Lori might have had one that she didn't have one before. But I'm not accusing Lori of anything.
Boy. It's on now.
Yeah, but it was a great turnout. Great weather. The rain stayed away. It wasn't too hot. Wasn't too cold.
Wasn't too hot?
No, it wasn't hot, Rob.
For the tailgate or for the game?
The game was a little warm.
Okay. That's what I'm hearing. It was pretty hot during the game.
Yeah,
that sun's just sitting on you.
The tailgate, we were in the shade, had a nice little breeze going through. So the tailgate was a complete success and enjoyable. Had good food, good drinks. Nathan, also, I can't think of Nathan's last name. McCullum, I think. But anyway, Nathan and his family came. His kids found the new dirt pile. They were covered from head to toe in dirt, which is cute. They're little bitty cute kids. But Nathan, hit the screwdrivers a little hard that morning.
Oh, boy.
So
Phillips or regular?
I think both.
Okay.
And don't think he drank enough water to probably keep up with the hydration aspect of it. So he was a little pale, having a little bit of problems towards the end of the day. But
I see him carrying people that do that out of the stadium quite frequently. So yeah.
Now he got out of the stadium and he took care of himself when he got out there. And we took care of him, Caleb and the guys. He got
like around halftime. He left early, so
yeah, he came out and sat down, got in the shade, got some water in him, but he is married, so you know what happens when that happens. So. And his wife's a sweetheart. Love her to death too, but he probably got what he deserved from her. So it's all fun and games. We love you, Nathan.
There are pros to being single. Just saying. There's some cons, but there's definitely some pros.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we thank everybody for coming out to the tailgate and enjoying a good time with everybody. It's something we love to do. And if I missed, your name, I'm sorry, it's not on purpose. It's just so many people come and go, and I lose track. And honestly, I'm terrible with names. So, that's how it is. But, so, good time. And
would you stop talking about hot dogs and start talking about the game?
Okay. That's what I was fixing to transition. Oklahoma gets its 900th victory in school history. And which I saw not from our buddy Scotty, but from another LA Sooner. We got our 900th or our 901 if you count the Oregon fiasco.
Right? Yeah.
So
definitely won that game.
But no, our 900th win, putting it on the Texas Tech Red Raiders 55-16, and I think they said this is like the first time in like 5 years that Texas Tech hasn't scored like a bajillion points against us.
Right.
So
and honestly, Terry, I know we're going to get into it, but the score should have been worse. The one long touchdown that they got, there was clear hold.
Oh yeah, yep.
I mean, right in front of the ref. That wasn't called. That would have changed that whole deal right there.
It was also at the fourth down conversion fake punt and run too. So
yeah.
So I mean, it could have been 60 whatever to 10.
10, yeah.
At the end of the game.
Yeah, that was everybody in the stadium saw that. I mean, everybody started screaming. I saw it from where I was sitting at.
Did you watch the replay?
Oh, yeah.
Because even the commentators were like, oh, okay, all righty then.
And they were because the guy goes, and the boo birds are out, and Joel Klatt went, they're booing because there was the most egregious hold in the history.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Because he would have made the tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely would have. I think it was Parnell Motley, but I can't remember. He definitely would have made the tackle.
Yeah.
So.
But let's get into what everybody's been wanting to talk about all day. I've been getting messages last night on the Twitter and
Jalen Hurts.
No. People want to know about that defensive Kool-Aid,
right? Which I've been drinking since day one.
Still not drinking it,
and I'm still drinking it.
And
I may take a bath in it. That's how good it is.
I got people going, have you got the packets down yet? Shaking them? Nope, still don't. Caleb, I know you're drinking it.
You have to at least have to have it out. For you to have it out, it's like kind of ridiculous.
No, I just
pretty much though. You just go from not having it out at all to just getting all out at once.
Yes,
it's dumb.
You're gonna jump in with both feet.
I'm going to jump in with both feet because I'm holding back because I just can't give that commitment yet. And I will throw out some fantastic stats right now that and I'm going to tell you right now, I think our defense played very well yesterday. I think they played very well. I think they played very well against UCLA, against one of the Dakotas, whichever one we played, and in Houston. But I'm still not sold. I'm still not. But my favorite stat is Oklahoma has outscored their opponents in the first quarter 55-0.
Well, I think I saw something like, I think us, Oregon, I think Ohio State, the only two teams haven't trailed at all this year. So, I mean, that's one.
But we scored 17 against Tech, 17 against UCLA, 7 against Houston, 14 against the Dakota, which gives us 55-0 in the first quarter. So that's a good stat.
Not bad.
Texas Tech, third down conversions were
2 for 10 or something.
1 of 14.
1 of 14.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Fourth down, they were
ridiculous.
Fourth down, they were 1 of 3. So the one third down they got a fourth down conversion after it, and that's it. So basically, they got zero third down conversions.
That's
I only got. Oh, go ahead.
That's the biggest difference that Stevens this year than last year. We're the worst in the country like last year in third downs. Like we even had a couple third and shorts, and like I think they got one possession they got 9 yards on the first down, and we stopped them the next 2 plays. Like I mean that never happened last year. Like a 2nd and 2 or 2nd and 3, it's all Mac first down. Like there's just so much stuff on this defense that's just different. That everyone said because you pull up the numbers compared to last year, they're like the numbers are the same. But if you use your eyeballs, like there's just a lot of different stuff.
There's a lot more effort there. I will say that there is a ton more effort.
Well, even the plays that they got some pretty good yardage on, like Neville Gallimore was chasing that dude. And,
Yeah,
I mean
that was the play of the game. Neville
Gallimore, like
Gallimore,
a backfield tackle,
Yeah.
and I mean it was.
he got the rush. He got blocked twice. Still went down the field, tackled the guy, caused a fumble, got the turnover.
Well, I came down the tunnel at the right after the fourth quarter had started, and they still hadn't put up any real offensive numbers.
Right.
So,
Texas Tech had a total of 314 yards, 192 rushing, 126 yards passing. They were 12 of 26 passing at 10.2 yards per play in passing, 5.0 yards per play on total offense. But that's egregious because that's just an average because we know that they didn't get off. They couldn't stay on the field very long.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma is still averaging a first down per play.
Wow. So I would like to point out just a couple of things here while we're talking about the defense. So last year, and I know this is further down in the season, but we couldn't stop bad teams.
Right.
Not that Texas Tech is a good team right now, but we couldn't. I mean, Kansas put on 40 on us. And
Who
they
we
moved the
played
ball
this
at
week.
will.
Yeah.
This same team that we just pounded, they moved the ball on us at will. Remember with Duffy?
Mm-hmm.
And we could not stop them. This year, not only were we stopping them, but the first 3 were, 3 and out.
Right.
And then we continued, I think, there's not a lot of teams that can shut a team down to 0 yards, 0 passing, 0 points. That's just not going to happen. That's unrealistic. Don't you think, Caleb?
Yeah, especially in today's age now.
Yeah, especially with the offenses that we run, the same offense that Tech runs. You know, you can't tell me that Duffy's not a pretty good passer because last year he ripped us a new one.
Yeah.
We still beat him, but we had to outscore him.
Well, in total defense, Oklahoma is now
Second.
no total defense.
Total defense, I think we're like 30-something, right?
47.
Yeah.
Yards allowed passing. Remember, this is where we were dead last year.
Right.
Passing defense.
I think we're top 20, right?
Yep, 27.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I'm reading here, Terry. You're punching them for last year. You're like, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid because of what y'all did to me last year.
Yeah, so
No, hold on.
You're the AP voters still
Hold
voting
on.
for Clemson to be
Hold
number
on.
one because of last
No,
year.
I said Clemson needs to be
But
out of the top five.
the same, but you're doing the same thing with the defense.
Third down defense. What are we, Caleb?
We're second.
Number 2. Our opponents are 10 of 51 on third down conversions. Rushing defense. What are we?
I think like top 30, right?
70.
70.
That's mostly from the Houston game. I would
So-
guarantee because that quarterback ran like crazy.
Derek King is really good.
Yeah.
So, okay. Now, your reasonings, Rob, for drinking the Kool-Aid. Let's hear it. Sell me.
Okay. Improved defensive line. You see Gallimore and Jenna Redmond in the backfield. I mean, you didn't even know that they existed last year. Am I right?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. K9 comes around the corner, has a sack. You know, I only got to watch the first half, so I don't know. Maybe he had another one in the second. But we were in there a lot.
Right.
We were running people downfield, which you didn't see that last
Ever.
year.
Correct.
We are making one-on-one tackles.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the interception that was dropped?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that would have been pick 6 probably.
You didn't see that last year.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't even know the ball was coming until they already caught it and was behind us. Now we're not only we, you know, I mean, that was he's beating himself up because he should have had that one.
Right.
Especially with the Grinch, the whole thing is
Right.
turnover, so I'm sure he gets his butt chewed out.
But they're all over the ball. It just looks like a different defense to me. So
Caleb, sell me.
So you? I mean, so right now you're a dumb AP voter voting for last
You
year's
just
team.
called your dad dumb.
Well, because you're being dumb. Your reasoning is like, oh, they like this last year, so like it's just like you're voting for Clemson to be number one team country because they won last year with Trevor Lawrence. I mean, there's just so much stuff. They're getting turnovers they didn't do last year. They're getting pressure without blitzing, which they didn't do last year. I mean, there's stuff that they're doing all this year they haven't done. So I mean, like my biggest thing is the third down defense. Like that's one thing that we were terrible at last year, and because
like the emergence of Jaden Davis and Terrence Mann, Turner Yell. I mean, these kids can play ball.
Bridges got out there for a couple plays, got a holding, which is funny.
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe not that
It
part.
was an ugly hole.
Yeah,
too.
the other one. Yeah, he got crossed up. He grabbed him, took him down.
But
Got taken
That's what
out
happens
of
when
that.
you don't know what you're doing. Right?
yeah. But okay, I agree with what you guys are saying. I'm not disagreeing.
Okay.
Okay.
They're just being stubborn.
I'm just not drinking the Kool-Aid. The reason
Tell us why we
Okay.
shouldn't be drinking the Kool-Aid.
the I agree 100% with what you said, Robin. Even you, Caleb. The front seven play is out of this world compared to last year.
Right.
Okay. The secondary is not. Okay.
I mean, no one's. We can't say anything. Secondary is unknown because they haven't really been tested.
Haven't been tested, but where they have been tested on some runs, if you're getting into the secondary, if you're getting past that disruptive front seven, and it's one-on-one, if they get helmet on us, I don't like him, but what's the old Ohio State, Urban Meyer, during halftime showed it, which I had already thought about it watching it. Their big runs, they got to the edge. If Oklahoma gave up that edge, and they got helmet on helmet with guys, they couldn't get off, and they had the wrong angles. Okay, secondary. They haven't been tested as far as secondary with passing, and when they get tested in the run, you're right. They ran guys down. They pursued, but they're still letting that extra yardage go just simply because, and Urban Meyer said it, I don't like Urban Meyer. I never have, but he said, I don't know He goes, I know it's not effort. He goes, I don't know if it's maybe it's talent, which is what we've discussed before. Maybe the talent's just not there. But he even said something Grinch will work on and will correct, eventually.
He hired a guy, so I'm sure he's dependable.
Our defensive backs are small.
They are.
They are small. And when you got 6'2", 6'1" receivers going against 5'9", 5'10" defensive backs, that's what I'm just not sold. I'm not, because as soon as I drink it before I'm sold or attempt to drink it, I'm taking care of Sooner Nation. It'll fall apart if I drink it too soon. And I know when I see it, when I will drink it.
So this is what happened here. Last year you got your heart broken.
Exactly. And the year before that. and
so
the year before that.
Not opening up. You're not opening up. Not letting the love flow.
But, here's what I've heard, okay? And yesterday on game day, I heard Joel Klatt talk about it on the broadcast yesterday. I heard them talk about it on the halftime show yesterday when I was watching it today, is what we have all been saying. Oklahoma, once they get this corrected, this defense, they are going to kick themselves because they've given away 2 championships so far.
It for 2 years.
And Oklahoma fans are already kicking ourselves. Mm-hmm. And that Joel Klatt said it, what the question has been, and even they're not sold on Oklahoma's defense yet. They've got to do more. They've got to see more. But they've said the problem with Oklahoma is defense, defense, defense. They look better now, but they're still the question with Oklahoma and why Oklahoma is dropping in the AP poll, not in the coaches poll, but in the AP poll, or in this sitting there behind everybody else, is they still question that defense. If something happens great in the Texas game, Oklahoma's going to rocket up. It's just going to happen. As long as they don't stumble this year, it's going to be a year. But Oklahoma, Joel Klatt said it, Oklahoma is kicking itself for the last 2 defenses. And is it, is the defense, is it too late to, or too much into it to fix the defense for this year? Because guess what, guys? Our offense is phenomenal again. It's ridiculously good.
It is good, no doubt.
And are we going to see a 3rd year in a row of
probably
Oklahoma wasting a championship offense?
I think the problem this year is we're not the only really good team out there right now. There's 4 teams right now just kicking the crap out of everyone. So I think we're in the class that there's 2 classes and we're in the top part of it. It's just we won't know till Texas because Ellinger. We'll see how good we are if he lights us up, which they're going to score on us. So
right. There's some things that I really liked about, what I like about Joel Klatt is that he really breaks down the game well, and he showed plays, they replayed plays to where it looks like, there was one where Jalen was fading backwards to his right, and he goes, it looks like that's not, him escaping, goes, that's the design of the play. He's supposed to backpedal, fade to the right, to pull the defense and the defensive backs to the right. And guess what? There was a guy coming across the way to the left all by himself. And that was Hazlewood, who in my opinion was the player of the game on offense yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. The kid caught everything that
kid's really good.
That came his way. He didn't have the big plays, but he was the underneath guy who caught everything.
It's kind of crazy
underneath.
To say that when CeeDee Lamb has 200 yards catching and he has 2 crazy touchdowns. He juked the guy out, two players out, and then ran and then broke a tackle.
Yeah.
So,
CeeDee had 7 catches for 185 yards, 3 TDs. The longest was 71. Hazlewood had 6 catches for 59 yards. That's what I'm saying. He's become the underneath guy, not our tight end, Calcaterra, who has normally been. Now he's got a receiver that is a weapon underneath. And then,
he's a freak too.
Rambo averaged 61 yards per catch because he had 2 for 122 yards.
What
did Gus Johnson say? Put the biscuit in the
basket. I'm telling you, that play was, I know it was 40 yards in front of me, but it was right in front of me. Okay, did you see that play, Rob?
I did.
And I'm sitting here watching it, and I'm like, oh my God, he's fixing to get killed. Because Rambo never looked off that ball. He had his eyes in the air, and this dude coming full speed at him, hits him, stays on his feet.
Yeah, he broke
Luckily,
the
he
tackle.
just grazed him, right?
He broke the tackle.
Yeah, that I just thought, oh my God, this is gonna,
This is the end of
this
him.
is it, because you could see it. I mean, full. And then Trammell, did you hear what Trammell asked? Did you hear?
I didn't hear. I saw the clip of it. I saw Jalen's face kind of like roll his eyes at him. But
Yeah, he asked him. He goes, CeeDee and Rambo were running down. Rambo was coming across CeeDee. Who were you throwing it to?
Oh.
And Jalen looked at, kind of like you said, kind of rolled his eyes. He goes, who caught it? And he goes, Rambo. And he just kind of looked at him. He goes, so that's who you were throwing it to? And he just shook his head. It's like, what kind of question was that?
Barry Trammell's become a national joke here recently. And Russ
He's
kind
not
of like
sold on Jalen Hurts.
he's not sold on Jalen Hurts. I mean, he's not sold on OU. Period. He's not even in his top 10. So I mean,
Right.
yeah. So I mean, like he,
But
like
Kansas State was.
Kansas State was. So was
Got
US.
throttled
So
by
was
the
USC. USC was in the top 10.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
But that, I'm telling you, the concentration that Rambo put on that play, because there were footsteps all around him, and for him not to
I
look
know.
off and miss that ball, and he got hit 3 times right there in like 2 seconds within catching it. It was like
He was
a
fighting it the
pinball.
whole time, wasn't he?
It was amazing.
Yeah. I like both of his catches were pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But that one where CeeDee caught it and then he turned right
Mm-hmm.
and just turned on the Jets.
Yep.
They weren't catching him.
Yep. So, I think it's obvious that CeeDee is the favorite target, the go-to man.
it's you can see why.
Yeah.
They're like best friends too.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
Hazelwood is the underneath guy for this offense.
What's crazy, Hazelwood's might be the fastest one besides Rambo. Like Hazelwood's crazy fast
Yeah.
too. I mean,
And I think Rambo. I think it was him. I think he has his 40 time. No, it was one of the defense. Somebody has their 40 time on their mouthpiece cover. It's like 4.12 or something like that.
I think it's the Davis kid.
Yeah, but
Yeah, Jay.
He ran- he
I
got-
thought,
he-
I thought
he-
it was his number. 4.
And he ran down that one big almost touchdown.
yeah, it's his 40 time. It's like 4.1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but Rambo, I think, is our Hollywood Brown. Now that he's the speedster down the field. It was and Hurts was 17 to 24 for 415 yards.
And first turnover.
First interception.
Yeah, fumble.
It was tipped, but
Yeah. For the season, he is 66 of 85 for 1,295 yards, 12 TDs, and 1 interception. He's averaging 323 yards. No, that's wrong. I don't know what that number is. Rushing, he's for this game, he was 9 carries for 70 yards, 1 TD, 7.8 yards per carry. So he ran the ball less, which everybody's wanted. Even though there were called plays, but he was only flushed and had to rush a couple of times. So credit the offensive line. Trey Sermon had, and this is what's crazy. They have so many backs. You think I could have swore Trey Sermon carried the ball 100 times, but he only carried the ball 7 times.
wow.
For 76 yards, 2 TDs, 11. Basically, it's 10.9, basically 11 yards per carry. Hurts carried the ball 9 times for 70 yards, 1 TD, 7.8. And here's Kennedy Brooks, 8 carries for 29 yards, 3.6 yards per carry. I could have swore Kennedy Brooks carried it more than
We got hurt, but
Yeah.
luckily wasn't. It's not serious. They said,
And
so.
okay, everybody, I on that, I want to call off the Wolves out there. Okay, it was a bad play. It was a penalty. Okay, but to say it was a dirty play by this player and that was his intention is ridiculous. Let's not jump to those conclusions. There's a lot of people out there on Twitter if it looks like a dirty play, it's because it was. No, it was a bad decision. If you watch that play over, one of the coaches comes up, and I'm guessing it's a defensive coach, comes up, gets right in that kid's face immediately, okay, It was a bad decision. If you're going to call that a dirty play, well, then the very next play or a couple plays later when Buki face masks the guy, then call that a dirty play. Kids make bad decisions. It's a fast game. He went after his legs, blindsided him. Yeah, it was horrible. I'm glad he's not hurt. But let's not call it intentional that he went after the guy to hurt him. And even Lincoln said after the game, it's not something you want, but the coaching staff, because Lincoln went over there, was classy, spoke to Lincoln. It wasn't an intentional trying to knock the guy out of the game.
I'll tell you what, though, Lincoln sure was mad about those penalties.
Well, that pass interference was one of the worst calls.
Yeah, the CeeDee pass interference.
Yeah, that was terrible. Big 12 officials, though.
Was
so that's
terrible.
Yeah, but this is also the fourth straight game that OU has gone over 600 yards.
That's pretty impressive.
4 games over 600 yards.
So you're drinking the offensive Kool-Aid.
Man, I haven't put the offensive Kool-Aid down in 3 years.
Probably longer than that. since he's been here, at least.
Yeah. Now here's something that they brought up on the broadcast too when I was watching it. That recruiting, some effects on recruiting. I want to get y'all's thoughts on this. Is what are the 3 things that Hurts and Murray and Baker Mayfield have in common?
They're all transfers.
They're all transfers. So the argument is Lincoln Riley can't produce, or what's the word I'm looking for?
He can't coach or
develop Go Caleb.
I mean, when they transfer here, they get better. So, I mean, they didn't win a Heisman when the other places they're at, and they come here, they win Heismans. So I'm pretty sure that helps him develop the quarterbacks. He just happens to have, I don't know, like maybe the greatest quarterback of all time in the OU's history come in. The guy come in the year after that, break all his records. I mean, it's not like he's not getting he had the number 1 quarterback in the country last year. We got the number 1 player in the country next year. So, I mean, he's getting their recruits, but he hasn't been getting them yet. But now he gets to pick whoever one he wants now.
Rob, your thoughts?
My thoughts are when Lincoln came here as a coordinator,
Trevor Knight and Beldozer.
Kyler was backup to Baker.
And Baker was backup to Trevor Knight
and the quarterback
and
coach.
Beldozer.
Right. So he actually developed both of them.
Bingo.
Am I right about that?
Yeah, these guys didn't come.
Okay.
And that's what Joel Klatt said. Okay, Jalen Hurts is the anomaly out of these 2. Okay, out of these 3. He said, he developed Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield came here the first year that Lincoln Riley was here.
Oh, that was his first year. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
so, he definitely developed Baker then.
And then Kyler had 2 years behind Baker. He said, so somebody developed those guys, and guess who it was? Lincoln Riley.
Freaking Riley.
Jalen Hurts is the anomaly out of it. Not that he's not a great quarterback, but for him to sit down since January and don't think that him and Jalen on his own weren't watching film, and several of the people on the broadcast and post-game, pre-game stuff said that, Lincoln, all these coaches who say, well, we don't recruit those guys because, that quarterback because he doesn't fit the system. Lincoln develops a system around his quarterback, and that's what he's done with Jalen. It's what he did with Kyler. It's what he did with Baker.
Yeah, well, but
develops his offense,
the quarterback within the system,
right? To my strengths are going to be what my quarterback strengths are. Here's the plays I'm going to run. This is what we need you to do, X, Y, and Z.
So you think that's why Jalen runs more than Kyler did, or does it seem like? I mean, it seems like he's running a lot more.
He didn't this time. He didn't this game, and I think. And part of the reasons why they maybe throwing the ball more was telling Jalen to stay in the pocket. And he did a lot more this game. He really, don't you think so, Caleb?
I think he's just trusting the line. He's just trusting the system more.
Well,
right.
He had all day.
Yeah, he had all day. He had all day. And it's also, he's just like me, he's new. So what you do when you do something new, you do what natural to you. So
right.
I think he's starting to trust. Because they haven't been working with Lincoln for a little bit. So, I think he's trusting the system more and everything. So.
Because he stood in the pocket several times in there, or just, sidestepped out of the pocket and stayed in there.
Did he get sacked at all yesterday?
He got sacked once.
Yeah.
But the funniest play, Did you see the one where they came on the double corner blitz and he outran the corner?
Oh, yeah.
And the corner fell down chasing him.
Yeah, I loved it. He saw it coming immediately. He took off.
Just took off running and outran the guy. And you can see the guy about 5 yards down the field loses his balance because he's trying to run so fast. And
you're not keeping up with him.
that was so funny. Stumble, fall.
Well, you know what? Jalen's one of those kids that, even though he's a 4'4" guy,
yeah,
he doesn't look like he's a 4'4" guy.
No,
Really so big.
he's so big.
So
It's those.
big. But he's moving. Even if you'd have got to him, you probably wouldn't have brought him down. Just saying.
Yeah. Was there anything in the game, Caleb, that you were unhappy with?
No, it's pretty much a perfect game. Like it's exactly what I said before, like the whole Thursday and last podcast. Like I wanted to hold them on 21 points. We did that. Got a turnover. We dominated the whole game from start to finish. Like it was just pure domination. And so it's like everything I pretty much wanted you to do, they did. Maybe see Rattler out there before Mordecai, but it's whatever. I like Rattler better, obviously, for obvious reasons. But
Rob, anything you didn't like that you saw?
Not really. I mean, I'm pretty critical of Jalen. So whenever he takes off, instead of like Kyler did, just take 2 or 3 steps up and find CeeDee running across the middle wide open, he just runs it. Or that may be my perception of what's going on, and that ain't necessarily the truth. So I mean, I'm hard on Jalen. So I guess you could say I'm not really drinking the Jalen Kool-Aid yet.
So you're kind of like me with the way I am with Buki.
No. No, I don't hate Jalen.
I don't hate
Oh,
Buki.
my
Come,
God.
Rob, I don't hate anybody, and
Caleb,
you know
does
that.
he hate him?
I'm pretty sure he does.
No, I don't. I don't hate him. I want him to. See, you guys are putting all these bad things out there on me.
Well, we need guarantees we a bust. That's like.
Well, I mean, you're a 5-star recruit, okay? And I'm telling you, I said it yesterday. You probably don't remember it, Caleb. But there were times, and this is credit to the Oklahoma coaching staff, that he was in a mismatch in coverage, and they moved him. Okay, it was part of the play. You saw the call come in to get him on the inside, off of the guy if they were in man or out of that area of the zone. I saw them do that. I talked to somebody else this morning who said they saw the same thing. Okay, and this, you know where my seat's at. You saw where my seat's at. They're right there, and when they're in the red zone, I mean, I can see the color of people's eyes, and they're looking over, and then, and Buki's turning to, Motley and everything else, and they move, and it's like, okay, that's a mismatch, and they're getting him out of that mismatch. The one time I didn't see it get moved, guess what happened?
He got burned.
He got burned.
Oh, come on now.
I can show you the play. And luckily, half of their offensive line was down the field. And so there was a penalty, and they ended up kicking a field goal. But that's my criticism of Buki. And the other one is his tackling. I know he's small. He's fast. He's a great athlete. But somebody needs to tell him to quit hitting people in the numbers. He needs to hit people in the waist and low, because he's just bouncing off people. Okay.
You remember the kid he hit from, where was that last year?
It's Kansas State.
Yeah.
Got knocked them both out.
Yeah. But that, my deal is, I don't dislike Buki, okay? I want him to do well, but I just think that, if he's the best they have, or he wouldn't be out there, okay? And does that mean that he's going to be the best they have next year? It may not be. What do you think about that?
I don't know.
Well, I think he's pretty good. Obviously he's pretty good, or he
he's
wouldn't
good.
be out there.
He's good. Well,
But-
so is Jalen.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to argue. Jalen.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm just not sold on Buki is what I'm saying. And it frustrates me. It's part of my frustration with the defense the last several years, when your expectations were, and mine were, I'll admit it, my expectations of Buki were very high. Everything I saw on him in high school, all of that stuff, I know he's a good kid. I've seen him talk. I've seen him talk about. I know his ethics and everything else. His work ethics are great. I know that it's not nothing. It's not that I don't want him to do good, but yeah, I'm just not happy with the production. But then again, I'm not happy with the secondary's production, and haven't been for I don't know how long. And maybe my criticism of Buki is a frustration of 5 years of bad defense.
All right, wait a minute. So you're not happy with them the way they're playing this year?
The secondary, no.
Okay. What was that? What was that rank again?
Oh,
Pass defense.
Pass defense?
Yeah.
Number 27.
Number 27. And that's not good enough for you. All right.
Okay, they've played Houston, South Dakota, North Dakota, East Dakota. I don't know can't remember which one.
I understand that, but we played bad teams
UCLA
again last year, and they kind of roasted our secondary.
We're dead last.
But 2 years ago, we went into the big house, not the big house, Ohio State, the horseshoe, and dominated on defense. And what happened after that?
We went downhill. I'm not saying we didn't. I'm just saying to this point, though, we're in the top 30.
I am happy with every game that this defense has played. But I'm still not drinking the Kool-Aid. This defense is overall better and going to improve our chances of winning a playoff game and or the national title.
Okay, that's fair enough. We'll be all right. So it's Texas game as a catalyst, right?
Yeah, that's
pretty much the only game like that. I guess maybe Baylor is only in OSU.
Yeah, there's 3 games that if we do to Texas what we did to Tech, yeah, I'll
Okay.
if we do to Texas and Baylor what we did to Tech, and then to Oklahoma State.
Baylor's offense not where I think Baylor's just a good team. Like
Yeah.
Oklahoma State's offense, so that's different. That offense is scary good. So
Yeah,
So, let's talk about little brother for a minute. Chuba Hubbard runs for 300 yards.
that guy's really good. He's the best running back in the country.
what was the final score of that? I don't have any of the games pulled up.
24-14.
I think it was more. It was worse than that. It was like 30 something.
Yeah, 34-14.
34-14.
They look up fast. Yeah, I mean, they dominated the whole. I watched highlights of that game. They beat the crap out of Kansas State the whole
Yeah.
game.
They beat him up pretty good.
Oh, and since we're on that number one, it was on. What was it on Fox?
It was on ESPN Plus.
All these games getting put on the internet are stupid. ESPN, you got to pay now to watch games. It's stupid. Stop it. And the fact that Dish Network and DirecTV are in a fight with Fox, and you can't watch Fox right now on our TV.
Really?
Yeah, because they're in negotiations. And it's being taken off of a bunch of stuff because they're in negotiations.
We'll get used to the internet thing because that's happening more and more often. Pretty soon it's going to be all on the internet. So.
I'm about ready to go all internet and do,
That's what I do, but it's aggravating. I'm not going to lie to you. It's aggravating.
Once you get live sports on there more often, then it'll be the end of everything. But
Yeah.
you have to get live sports on there, which they're doing. So, but once they get more and more, pretty soon, like OU's going to have a game on there here soon. So, I mean, it's cheaper than pay-per-view. So, it's only $4, $5 a month. But yeah, but they.
Let's say what the NCAA needs to do, or college football or whatever, they need to say, okay, Big 12 is going to Netflix, and you can buy all of Oklahoma games.
That's going to happen
on Netflix.
That's going to happen real soon. Within I think next 5 years, like Big 12, like their TV contract ends up, and that's like the main thing they're saying. Amazon's going to buy them, or Netflix, or Hulu.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, if you if it's $100 a year to buy all the Big 12 games, I'm spending the $100 to Netflix or Amazon or whatever.
It's going to happen soon. They won 26-13, but it wasn't that close.
Or the OSU game.
Yeah.
6-13?
Yeah.
What was the final in the Kansas? TCU was
TCU
just
beat the crap out.
beating the dog poo out of
Yeah.
beating the fake red hair off of Les Miles.
I don't have that one.
Yeah, that was a beat down, pretty good one too.
Auburn beat the crap out of it. Mississippi State. I don't think game day is going to be at OU Texas. I think there's like a really big game, like LSU Auburn or something like that. It's that week. So.
Yeah.
Washington beat USC. Not surprising. Notre Dame won. That game was close. They were losing for a lot of that game. They went by 15.
Who'd they play?
Virginia, who's ranked. That's like the last good team to play. Bama beat the crap out of Ole Miss, but they gave up 31 points. Bama's turned to OU now.
Yeah.
They're giving up a lot of points and they're scoring a lot. A lot of SEC teams are doing that. Clemson should have lost.
Yeah, Clemson should have lost.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Hey, hats
Good
off
teams
though to
find a
Mac
way.
Brown. I mean, I don't blame him. Go for 2 at the end of the game.
Yeah.
You know, because you're not going to beat. He knew I'm not going to beat them in
I'm not gonna
overtime.
beat 'em in
I'm not going to be able to stop them more than they can stop us. So I hate to say it, but Mac did used to coach at OU, so he's not all dumb.
Right.
What was the final of the Ohio State Nebraska game?
48-7.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think Ohio State's probably the best team in the country right now.
Or Nebraska just isn't that good.
Ohio State's really good though.
I
They're
agree.
doing what we're doing
Yeah.
better. So I mean,
Well, yeah, but how good is Nebraska?
Everybody
how
thought
good is
they were.
Texas Tech? I mean, Nebraska's better than
Well,
Texas
I
Tech.
know, but I'm just saying,
it's a little early.
I don't know that they're better than Texas Tech. I just don't. I think Nebraska, the hype is the Scott Frost hype, and no offense, I understand it, but it's like, okay, he's here 2 years now. This is their back. They're Texas right now. They're not back yet. He hasn't been there long enough to get that thing turned around.
Yeah, I mean, next year will be the first time we actually have all of his players. But I mean, it's just like I said, Ohio State, they're doing what we're doing like on steroids. They're shutting teams out. They're just putting up clinics on everyone. So I mean, I think us, them, Bama's just because Tua is so crazy good. And someone else, I think there's been impressive out of everyone.
Georgia.
Auburn. Georgia, they should have beat Notre Dame worse than they did, but
Tua Tagovailoa.
that guy's really good.
Come on, Rob.
Did you hear that?
You can't
Thanks
start.
to Cleo, I've learned how to say it.
I'm disappointed in you.
Tagovailoa.
Why did you want to know how to?
He just deserves my respect, I think.
Okay.
He had 7 touchdowns yesterday, I think, or something like that. So I mean, he's really good. I mean, he's the reason why we have Jalen here, so I can be a fan of that.
I just wanted to show Cleo that I could actually pronounce his
The
name.
same reason I'm a fan of Pat Mahomes, because if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't have Baker Mayfield. And the same reason I'm a big fan of Tua. If it wasn't for Tua, we probably wouldn't have Jalen Hurts. So
Bama's the new number 1. Any
rightfully,
problems with that?
I think Ohio State should be number 1, but I don't mind Bama being number 1.
You know what they ought to do? They ought to just go ahead and rank the entire SEC.
I mean, A&M still ranks still. They almost lost to Arkansas.
That's terrible.
They almost lost to Arkansas, and they're ranked still.
Wake Forest is ranked.
SMU's ranked for the first time since the death penalty. That's pretty cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
Clemson is number 2. They should have dropped out.
They should be behind us.
Yeah, they should be out of the top 5. Georgia's at number 3. Ohio State's at number 4. LSU's 5. Oklahoma 6. Auburn 7. Wisconsin 8. Notre Dame 9. Florida 10. And Texas is 11.
And you got Florida versus Auburn this week. So if Auburn wins again, they'll probably jump us next week, I bet. So
Of course.
yeah.
Everybody,
That's fine.
really-
It's SEC. They'll beat each other out. So that's why I don't care. If we beat the crap at Texas, we'll jump over a couple people. So
Yeah.
we have the worst record against teams we play against. They have one, I think, combined 3 wins of all the 4 teams we played against.
But it's going to turn out with Oklahoma of how much we dominate them.
Yeah.
If we have games like what we were saying last week, if we have games in the Big 12 like we have, letting Kansas put 40 points on us, letting Kansas obviously now put 20 points on us is not going to be acceptable.
Right.
So.
Well, and, really, Houston is better than they're playing. They just are. I don't know why they're sucking it up right now, but they stink. But they're better than what they're playing. I don't know.
Maybe
They're not helping us at all.
we just took their soul out the first game, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, that and Derek King is not playing anymore.
He's not playing anymore. Yeah.
But I don't have Clemson again.
That's the only team that shouldn't be ahead of us, but they're not champions. Like they're getting the recent bias, which they earned from last year.
You have to beat the champion for the champion to get.
So they might lose the game this year. I thought they had a cakewalk, but you almost lose to North Carolina. They're not guaranteed to win every game now.
Yeah, they got to play Pitt, don't they?
Yeah, I can play Pitt. I would say
Pitt
Virginia
beat somebody already, right?
Yeah, Pitt.
They beat UCF.
Yeah, UCF. So
they almost beat Penn State. Probably should beat Penn State. I think Wisconsin. Ohio State play here soon. That's gonna be one hell of a game.
Yeah.
I think those are 2 of the better teams in the country.
And Wisconsin's got the best defense in the country.
Wisconsin's really good. I
They're
mean,
like ranked up there, except they're really bad in uniform choices.
you don't like those uniforms? I like those uniforms. They're awesome.
Did you see Wisconsin's uniforms, Rob?
I did. You didn't like that?
They weren't bad. It's throwback. I like throwback stuff, but the khaki
stuff.
the khaki,
That's awesome.
they weren't
It's an
bad.
awesome
The
uniform.
brown pants were a little bit
Right. I
goofy.
understand that, but I like the whole concept.
Look at the
of
49ers.
throwback,
Look at the 49ers. Like
Yeah, these were different tan. These were more like
muddy
Jim
muddy
Harbaugh
game tan.
tan. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Ohio State, Wisconsin going to play twice probably. So I mean, it's going to be because they play I think at Wisconsin, then probably play again in the Big Ten championship. So
Probably right.
I mean, hopefully they can cancel each other out there like we
Well,
did
here's
with
the
Texas
thing.
last year.
Whoever comes out of the Big Ten, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Those two teams are really good.
Really
They're
good.
really good teams. And I said, we'll know with Texas how good OU is. Because that's one thing about this schedule. I'm scared about Texas because we won't be tested until then. And
It's
that's
a
gonna be
defining game, isn't it?
yeah.
Did y'all see me on TV?
I did. Only because you posted it.
Yeah.
Did you see me on TV, Caleb?
Yeah,
Me and your mom?
I saw it. I saw it on Twitter. I didn't see it on TV, but I saw it on Twitter.
No, I saw it on both. I saw it today when I was watching it.
Were you looking for it the whole time?
You
No,
are
it just
infamous.
when it popped up, I was like, there I am.
Yeah,
Look at
it's-
that beauty.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's whatever.
Face for podcasting, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Anything else happened yesterday? So you guys still don't OSU at all about being a threat at all?
Nah.
Nope, I'm not. Only because they cannot play any defense. Now, you might say, well, neither could we, and we still made it. They have a good offense, but it's not as good as ours.
Well, they held Kansas State to 13 points. Kansas State's been scoring 50 points all year.
That's true.
So, I mean,
Nah.
Are they a contender to you?
yeah, they have the best running back in the country, probably the best receiver in the country, and I think they have one of the best young quarterbacks in the country.
Do you think he's better than CeeDee?
Yeah, I think CeeDee would be a better pro, but that Wallace guy's. He's
Wow.
he's like the only target they have. He's the only person they throw to.
So how come we don't? How come people don't double team him?
He gets double team. He still catches it. That's
still
what I'm
catches it.
saying.
All
He
right.
still catches it. I mean, like he gets double team, still catches it.
All right.
I think CeeDee is probably the third best receiver in the country.
Wow,
Which
that's
still-
Really? Jerry Judy.
Jerry Judy's
Okay.
yeah, Jerry Judy.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
he's not showing much respect for
I mean, number
Who's-
three is like. I mean, that's still really good. I mean,
who's
it's-
leading for the Heisman.
Jalen.
Who do you think should be leading for the Heisman?
Probably. I mean, Jalen's good. Tua's right there too. I mean, Tua has more touchdowns, more yards, and the guy from Ohio State. I think it's top three right there.
That's not what I asked.
The guy from Ohio State's not even getting any mentions.
That's crazy. I'll probably go Tua right now just because he has more touchdowns. more
Wow.
yards.
So now Jalen's the second best quarterback in the country, and CeeDee's the third best.
Well, third best receiver is still. I mean,
Talk about. I mean, you want to get on to me for not drinking the Kool-Aid?
this happens every time. Last time too. The phone going off. Anyways, I mean, I'm sorry. Tylen Wallace leads the country in receiving yards, and I think he in touchdowns. So I mean, he's playing better than CeeDee, and then the running backs leading country in yards by like 300.
Well,
Quarterback
y'all know.
from where?
OSU,
Oh, what about the kid from Wisconsin?
he has like 600 yards. Like Chuba has 900, almost 1,000 yards already. So I mean, Chuba Hubbard's a really good player, and like I said, and Tylen Wallace is a very good player.
You're right.
So, and I think that Spencer kid's really good too. So that's gonna be fun watching Spencer's battle the next couple of years. The battle of the Spencers.
Well, you know me. I could care less whether Jalen wins the Heisman, because when we win the Heisman,
We don't win the Natty.
we don't need that.
Yeah, but there's nothing. I mean, right now it's like Jalen, Tua, and Justice Fields. I think 30 main people.
Yeah, because the kid from Clemson's kind of failed
Yeah,
completely.
he shouldn't be in conversation.
Sophomore slump.
Yeah, a
All the
little bit.
expectations. I mean, he wasn't. If you watched him last year, like he wasn't like crazy good last year. Like he's good in big spots, which is all you really want from a quarterback. But he doesn't put up crazy numbers. Like when it comes down to it, he steps up. But his numbers last year weren't crazy good. But I'm still. I think OSU is like our second biggest threat now. So I mean,
Well, I mean,
I don't think they're going to. I mean, they
So
should
OSU's a bigger threat than Texas.
second biggest threat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, they should have beat Texas when they played them. So I mean, and they're on the road.
So
have you seen what Texas's defense is ranked?
Uh,
It's like 100th.
Yeah.
oh,
And they're all hurt now too. Like they're all hurt when we play them now.
And they got all their backs hurt. Yeah, I would say Oklahoma State probably is our biggest threat right now.
Just for everything they do. Because the things that we don't know about OU's defense is the things that they're really good at.
Yeah, and there's a lot we don't know about OU's defense, which is why Terry's not doing what? Drinking the Kool-Aid. So,
but you guys had them at number 7. I think at worst they'll be 3, maybe 4. I mean, because I think Baylor's pretty good too.
Yeah, I think Baylor. I think we're going to have 3 really tough tests. It's going to be Texas, Oklahoma State, and Baylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baylor's pretty decent.
TCU will be an interesting one. West Virginia will be a blowout. I don't know what to think about Iowa State.
Yeah.
Who did they play yesterday?
They're up and down.
They played Baylor.
Yeah.
They lost by 3. Game-winning field goal.
I mean, they're just weird. I mean, everybody was expecting a lot out of Iowa State this year, and they just didn't. They're not yet.
Not living up to it.
Yeah.
So, and then Kansas turned a whole lot of people on, and now they're not living up to it. So,
Kansas.
Yeah, I mean, we got West Virginia and Texas next week. So, hopefully Texas. Hopefully the Texas is going to handle business there.
I was talking to some guys, about going to Kansas to watch a game. They said never buy tickets to a Kansas game because when you get up there,
somebody will give you.
Yeah, they're practically free, and then you can
kind of like a UCLA.
Yeah, just wander around and sit where you want.
I wouldn't mind going to the Kansas game.
We were talking about JY invited us, but JY, I don't think we're going to do it. I need a weekend off. I don't want to drive 5 hours to
6.5.
Yeah, whatever it is. I want to wake up Saturday and drink my coffee and watch game day.
Are we doing? You want to have a watch party here?
Oh yeah, well, Rob will be over here. You'll be here. I'm sure. Scott and his wife are coming over.
Probably bring
Sounds
Nathan.
like a sausage party. I'm out.
Probably bring Nathan.
Hey! You need to bring your own sausage buns. How about that? If you're complaining about a sausage party, Rob.
Oh.
Some big UFC fights this weekend too. The Joker movie comes out this weekend too.
Ooh, yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah, so that's
Joaquin Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Yeah, he's the younger brother to River. So what kind of dope was his parents smoking?
Well,
right?
they're like hippies or something like that.
We're gonna name him River.
I mean, they were in that cult that died. That they drank Kool-Aid. His parents were in that cult or something like that.
Now we know why you're not drinking the Kool-Aid, Terry.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Yeah, their parents were in a cult. They were in a cult, and then they got like right before it got real bad, I guess. And then they changed the name to Rivers for some reason. Like there
was River and Joaquin.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have been Joaquin really easily.
Joaquin.
Have you seen what Warner Brothers has done? They put out a deal saying that they're not the character of the Joker. They're not putting out as a hero or a superhero. It is fictitious character. But yeah, have you seen it, Caleb?
Yeah, people. It's just the thing about the Joker movie. It's just like the Joker is such a giant thing that people are so obsessed with. It's like especially if it's done good, like apparently it is. Like people just like try to become him, which is weird, but we got crazy people out there. Wow. So it's just people trying to say, because the reason why is because what happened last time when the Batman movie came out is the theater
with
theater and
the dude that played in the game movie. What was his name?
Heath Ledger.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That was a good Joker. Am I right?
Yeah.
You're not a fan of Brokeback Mountain, though.
I've never seen it. I've been told that it's really good, but listen, I'm kind of no on that deal. No offense to anybody or whatever, but that doesn't float my boat. So I'm just saying.
So but I just thought it was weird.
It kind of sinks my boat. Just because hey, I'm not into that, so whatever.
I think it's kind of weird that, like you say, okay, the society we live in now, that they have to go. It's a superhero movie, and he's a superhero. He's a super villain, and they're having to say, we're not putting him up to be a hero. He's just a good character.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, especially if Joaquin, if he nails it like everyone says he's nailing it. I mean, it's just gonna, which is not surprising at all because Joaquin's like a great actor. So I mean, if he knows like everyone says he's gonna nail it, it's gonna that's what happens. Like people get obsessed with it.
So that warning Don't become the. It's the same warning that they're putting on Tide Pods now. Don't eat the Tide Pods, idiot. It should be comma, idiot.
Idiot.
They do look good though. We'll say that.
What Tide Pods?
Yeah. They look like they make a candy Tide Pod.
So those warnings.
I wouldn't ever eat Tide Pods, but I'm saying if you look at them, like, oh, that looks like a good candy.
Huh. Okay.
I mean, it's so obvious. They have Gronk as a sponsor saying don't eat Tide Pods.
Yeah.
If Gronk's your sponsor telling you to be smart, then
don't eat Tide Pods. It's only a movie. It's not real.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're saying. It's not real. Then Joaquin walked out of an interview because they started asking him stuff about that. Like, are you worried about this character's going to do this? Like, he's like, I'm playing a fictional character. I'm just doing my job. Like, I don't. You shouldn't have to worry about everything else that comes with this character. It's fake.
You shouldn't have to worry about how stupid people are.
Yeah, but you do that in today's society with Twitter and everything like that, and the PC culture. You have to deal with everything now.
Well, see, and then the following week, El Camino comes out.
El Camino comes out.
Oh yeah,
and
we're on
birthday.
that.
Yeah,
and it's my birthday.
Yeah, it comes out on Friday, right?
Yeah.
So Rob, you're going to be over here. You're going to be down in Texas, aren't you?
I'll leave Friday that day.
Yeah, so
I think I use the app for when I go down there because I'm planning on watching that game.
So you'll have to come over Friday night. That night, and we watch El Camino.
Absolutely.
But
yeah, I'm pretty excited for. I'm pretty excited for Joker. Nothing's really been good here recently, so I'm pretty pumped to go see it.
Some dude from the USA ran a 9.7.
Yeah, won the world thing.
Fast.
9.7 100 meter.
Yeah.
I think I said it was seventh fastest time ever. I think Usain Bolt has 7 of that. All had 6 of those ahead of it.
Yeah. I mean, Usain Bolt you don't get to count him in what's fast because he's ridiculous. Like, have you ever seen Spaceballs? Mm-hmm. When they hit ludicrous speed, that's Usain Bolt, right? Everybody else is just, fast.
Yeah,
I watched that show. That show was pretty funny.
Oh, it's what, Spaceball?
No, the choir show, sorry, on the TV.
Well, what about Spaceballs?
Spaceball's pretty good.
Let's get back on to football.
We're not talking football?
What about Kansas? We travel for another 11 a.m. kickoff against the Kansas Jayhawks.
Before we get to Kansas, we have to give the Browns some love since you guys always like to make fun of them all the time. The division leading Cleveland Browns
in the worst division in football.
After all the crap they've gone through the first month, they are leading the division. How funny is that? You would thought the world was falling apart this last week with the Browns.
Oh, well, yeah.
Everyone's in Baker's were ready to stink.
And I will say thank you to the Baker fans and stuff. I personally only saw one Baker jersey at the game, which was a white one.
Jersey?
Baker Browns jersey.
I saw a lot of people walking in with them.
And I didn't see any brown ones until Lori sends me a text of one that was over by her. But there didn't seem to be as many of them. So
that's what happened.
It's because of you.
I think so.
I think it's because Baker's not playing good, so you have to hide the cage.
They're bandwagon Browns fans. That's what gets me more than anything else is that you're not wearing a Browns jersey because you're a Browns fan. You're wearing a Baker. Just don't.
Hey, let's talk about bandwagon fans for a moment.
Okay, let's do that.
What is your opinion of what a bandwagon fan is?
When your player from college, favorite player gets drafted to a team and you're a fan until they leave, or only when they're good you're a fan. Okay.
So how do you for instance the Sooners, because I've heard both sides of this argument. I want to figure this thing out. So if you become a fan of Oklahoma State football, why? For what reason did you become a fan of that team?
Well, because you went to college there.
Yeah, because that's the reason when they call us bandwagon fans, because all their fans are graduates, and we're all grew up with.
That's the point.
So
if you didn't go to school there,
that's stupid. That's a dumb reason.
You're a bandwagon.
So you can't be a fan of anyone then. If you go to school, that's dumb.
No.
No, you can't be. You can just be a bandwagon fan. For instance, I'm a bandwagon fan of the Cowboys because I grew up in the era when they were really good.
Man, you're also your favorite player.
No, but you're not a bandwagon fan. You're a fan of the Cowboys or Dallas Cowboys
my thing is
because you grew up and you're still a fan.
Yeah, my bad thing is that as long as you still root for the team when they're bad, and you still show your support for the team when they're bad, that's how. Because I'm a Lakers fan. Everyone calls them bandwagon fan because they're the Cowboys of the NBA. But they've been bad for 10 years. I'm still pumping my chest every time they win the game.
You're not a bandwagon fan with the Dallas Cowboys, Rob, because you've been, like you said, you've been a fan your whole life.
Right.
You're a fan of them this year.
Well, the argument doesn't make sense when you put it into the pros.
Yeah.
The NBA is a perfect example of bandwagon because if you're a Warriors fan, because most people they change it, they change the Warriors fan, they shift for Clippers fan or something like that.
This year they're a Thunder fan because we got Kevin Durant, and then next year they're a Golden State fan because they got Kevin
That's
Durant.
a bandwagon.
That's a bandwagon fan.
That's
right
a bandwagon
there.
fan. So that doesn't really work out in college.
No, I mean college.
College could be like nerd. I guess I know people who are fans of Bama because they're good. Like Raymond Denby, he's a fan of Alabama now because they're good. He likes what they play.
Bandwagon.
That's bandwagon. Right there.
Yeah, you know.
All right.
But
hold on,
Raymond
let me finish this thought.
But Raymond is a
OU
Sooner
fan.
fan.
Yeah, but his favorite team is Bama. Our favorite team is Bama.
So he chose to be a fan of Alabama because they're good.
Mm-hmm.
What if, let's just say, you chose to be a fan of Alcorn State?
It's a tough life.
I mean, they suck. So is it still a bandwagon?
No, if you're a fan, if you have a reason for being a fan, okay. Let's see, like you and I and most of the fans that listen to our podcast, most fans that we know, were born and raised Oklahoma fans. Whether our parents or us went to OU or not, you were born and raised a Sooner fan. Okay.
So therefore, we are not bandwagon.
We are not bandwagon fans. Okay. Even through the 90s, I mean, people have brought up before that, well, somebody, when I posted that video of UCLA, okay, UCLA fans are bandwagon fans. They're only there when they're good, okay? And somebody said, well, obviously you don't remember the 90s. And I was like, I lived the 90s, okay? And it wasn't until the last half of Blake's last year that Sooner fans quit coming to the games. And it wasn't because we weren't any good. It was, well, that was part of it. But Sooner fans were making a statement. We are not going to watch this if you're going to continue with this regime. That was what happened.
Listen, I was at the practice where Schnellenberger came over to the stands and said, since my players can't drink water, none of y'all can drink water. I'm like, hold up, sir.
Watch.
I'm like, I don't know about that.
But you know what I mean?
Hot out here.
Oklahoma fans still came to the games when we were bad. Okay. The last year of
Some
Blake.
didn't, but yes.
No, but the last year of Blake was the fans quit showing up. They're like, we're not going to, the stadium looked bad because people weren't donating money.
Yeah, the old turf was in bad.
Yeah,
repair.
it was like, we're not. That was the fans and the donors making a statement. We don't accept this anymore. Fix it. And they did. Okay, Castiglione fixed it. From football to gymnastics and marbles, okay, we're the best. We're always there on everything. But, I don't know of anybody that's a bandwagon fan in college. Like you said, you either are or you're not. Now, I don't really I'll watch other games. You know what I mean? I'll watch any college football game. I don't care who's playing.
Yeah, well, that's because we're a fan of football.
Right.
And more specifically, a fan of college football.
Right.
Who's your secondary college team?
I don't really have one. I mean, there's teams I do like. I mean, just because.
Name it.
I've always liked Florida State.
Yeah.
When Bowden was there, I always thought Bowden was hilarious. Who else? I like Arizona. I like their logo. That's just because. I mean, I couldn't tell you who they played.
A?
Yeah, I have a shirt with the A on.
I remember.
Yeah. I don't have a second. I have teams that I don't hate. I have teams that I hate, but
okay.
Texas,
So you don't really like them, but
yeah,
you don't hate them.
But I mean, like pros. Okay, I'm a Steelers fan through and through. But you know what? When my Steelers ain't doing well, like this year, but I'm always I like the Chiefs, and Caleb, you can attest to that. I've always liked the Chiefs. I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I like them. I like the Packers. I'm not a Packers fan, but I like them.
Yeah.
So
bandwagon the first Super Bowl. There you go. Bandwagon.
But as the season goes on, Okay, and if my Steelers continue to get out of it, I will start pulling for one of those two teams. I will. I did when Montana was with the Chiefs. You know, the Steelers weren't as good. They were still my team. But when it started coming to push to shove, if they play my team, you know, my Steelers, I'm going to root for the Steelers. But then you start kind of rooting for that secondary pro team. At least I do. My secondary pro team. I like the Bears.
I like the Packers and the Bears.
Huh?
So
because I'm not a fan of either one.
You're like me in baseball.
Yeah.
Like I like the Yankees. I don't like the Yankees, but I respect that history.
Right.
So just same with the Bears. You like the 85 Bears may be the best of all time.
Yeah, like the Dolphins too. You know,
The
Dolphins
72
probably.
Dolphins,
Yeah, may have had the greatest team ever.
Yeah.
I hate the Patriots. you know, but I mean, I'm not like that in college. I got one team.
Right.
I got my Sooners.
So I understand that because like I started becoming kind of a fan of SMU
Yeah.
after their 30 for 30.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they got the death penalty. You got to feel sorry for them a little bit, don't you?
Yeah. And, you know, and really the result of the death penalty is why it will never be handed down again. It destroyed
them.
that university. I mean, it almost shut down the
first time they're
university.
ranked since it happened.
Yeah, but we're talking not just football. We're talking everything.
Well,
I
SMU
mean,
was a contender every year, and now,
you look at. Let's face you look.
Were we second in the race for that running back that went there, or was he going to come here? Dickerson?
I don't, Dickerson was a bad dude.
no, I don't
man.
think we were ever in.
No.
But I could be wrong.
He was a bad dude.
We
Whew.
don't cheat like they did.
Oh yeah, we don't cheat.
Ever, never,
Never.
You know, I mean, but I mean, it almost not just a football program. The death penalty almost destroyed a university.
Right.
You know, because this money, let's face it, that comes into football, it gets used for a lot of things.
Especially in Dallas, Texas.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people want to go. And when they took that out, and there was no donor, there was no involvement, it almost killed that university.
Well, I heard someone say pretty much if they make paying players illegal, like SMU would be a powerhouse again because they have all that oil money. All that oil money.
Well, they do. Plus, Dallas is a rich recruiting environment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Dallas Skyline's right there. What's that other school that's right there?
TCU.
No, I mean the high schools.
Carter.
Allen's right there. All that stuff.
Dallas Carter.
Dallas Carter. That's what it is. Carter and the Skyline.
South Lake, Carrollton, South Lake.
Like almost the whole team gets recruited to D1.
Yeah.
So,
You know, you're right, but that's a whole nother subject. You know, paying the the players. We need to have one on that sometime.
man, I don't
after the
wanna open
season.
that bag of cats. box of worms.
Box of worms.
What's the saying?
Bag of cats.
Bag of worms. Bag of worms.
I think it's. I've heard
Can of
bag-
worms.
Sack of cats. Can of worms.
Sack
that's
of cats. I've heard of sack
of
of
cat.
Yeah,
Okay,
can of worms.
Yeah, because that cat's gonna be mad when he comes out of the
Yeah,
bag.
because everybody has an opinion on that. But okay, Caleb, is there anything else before we go on to Kansas?
I can't think so. I can think of right now.
Okay, Kansas, obviously, Boston College played nothing but the sororities when they played Kansas. Put all the sorority girls out
Apparently,
They
because
haven't lost. I think it's the only loss they have.
who Boston College,
Yeah.
they just got throttled by
Yeah.
Kansas.
Kansas put it on him. Yeah.
Kansas did. Yeah.
So and then Kansas. Did you look up the final on the TCU
I
game?
didn't look it up. No. They only had top 25 on there, but you can see that coming. TCU's got embarrassed, and so
Yeah. So I know it was really bad. So whatever the score was, it doesn't matter. Like I said, they beat the fake red hair off of Les Miles.
Right.
So probably going to be an empty stadium.
I would assume so. You know, I hear their student section is very rowdy, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what Baker called them. Told them to be your guys are a basketball school.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's not all he did to him.
Yeah. You know, and we've all heard that, Baker got a bad rap for all that because everything that was going on in that game. And if you talk to people who are in the know of what was going on in that game, he just got caught doing, with his hand on his crotch.
I'm like, okay, what were they saying? That he put his hand on his crotch and shook it at him? Because I'm pretty sure I've seen that on TV.
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, the other things that were going on, things that were being said, the late hits, there was a lot going on in that game towards him and Oklahoma from Kansas, which I thought was hilarious. when you're not a badass, you don't pick a fight with a badass.
Yeah.
And Kansas was trying to pick a fight.
It's kind of like that UCLA fan yelling at Jalen before the game. It just made no sense.
Yeah. So,
They were hitting him late, too, and everything, too. So that whole game was just... And the referees had lost control of it instantly.
yeah. And
Man, Dallas offense sucks today.
today,
I mean, they've been really good all year, and they can't score it. I'll watch the... I'll go down and score right
New
now.
Orleans
probably,
playing
though.
them pretty tough.
Yeah. So we're in the dome. This always happens.
but, what are any, we'll have our, Kansas podcast, but coming up on Thursday, we'll drop it on.
Does Les Miles eat the turf?
I think it's fake turf up there, so.
He eats it? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the only thing. I mean, the only thing that makes me nervous about this game at all is that Les Miles beats us when he shouldn't beat us. So,
Yeah. I don't think he's ever beat us when he shouldn't have beaten us.
I mean,
though.
that 2001 game when if we win, we the national championship and we lost that game.
Yeah.
I mean, that game was one of my best teams in the country that year. Was that the Nate Hibble year?
I think so.
Yeah, we had one of the best teams in the country. That's the first time we lost to him in a long time. He beat us back-to-back years.
No, it wasn't the first time.
And then lost in the 90s.
Yeah, I don't think Blake ever beat him, did he?
I know Clay Gregg
won.
never beat him, so I remember that. He always... Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
But that year, we win that game and go to that championship. Instead, we probably get killed by Miami or Nebraska or whatever, or if it was in there in that championship game, but...
You know what? That's what they said about us in 2000 when we played Florida State.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that Miami team's like, you look at that team, like, it's legit. They have Hall of Famers on that team everywhere. Every Ray Lewis, not Ray Lewis on that team, but that team had legit Hall of Famers. Like, it's one of the greatest teams of all time. I was also a big Miami fan when I was a kid, too, because I liked the way they played. And the U was just kind of cool.
Yeah, well. But anyway, we'll get into more Kansas stuff. Rob, you got anything else?
Nope.
Caleb, you got anything else?
I don't think so.
That's it, guys. Thanks for listening. Boomer Rob.
Boomer Jerry.
Boomer Caleb.
Boomer.
Thanks for listening to the Sooner Football Fans Podcast. Sooner Football Fans Podcast is hosted by Rob Nixon, Terry Long, and occasionally Caleb Long. It is produced at the beautiful Podcast Palace in Norman, Oklahoma. Follow us on Twitter at SoonerFBFans and like our Facebook page at Facebook.com/Sooner Football Fans and visit our website at www.SoonerFootballFans.com to read our blogs and keep up with our tailgating activities. Boomer Sooner, everyone.